Hello survivors, welcome to a brand new Silly Saturday video. Today we are going to be crit stacking on the Sentinel. I thought it would be a clever idea. I have tried this in the past and it didn't work. We're going to do it with thrust skills as well. So we've got on guard, precision, the quick strike, and then the seeker blades. We're going to try and use them to gain form, try to get to 1,000 form stack so we get that critical strike chance. And then we've also got the precision wave that's going to increase crit chance as well. We've then got reroll mastery, skill, inclination, thrust, so we can get them quickly. And the reason we want form so badly is because we are actually going to be dealing damage based on the number of stacks of aptitude. However, we don't need a lot of skills that apply aptitude. We need a lot of skills that hit hard, because we are going to grab whenever we crit. There's a chance to apply aptitude from Midorahk. So we're going to be using that Synergetic, Divine Legacy, Advanced Tactics, and Battle Proficiency. We're only going to do this on a +0 to see if it actually works, because I haven't tested it or anything like that. But it should be quite interesting. We're running shoot as well as rain of arrows, and then the four skills that we mentioned above. We're going to have to get Midorahk, and we'll see if we get this really well. If this goes really well, then we can go further than the Void King and see if we can push it to +7, +8 vials or not. But I can't guarantee anything over there for any of us. So we're just trying this out just to see what happens. If we lose, we lose. It's just a good attempt at trying something silly using a different skill that isn't meta or anything like that, and stacks in a weird way, but we are able to get hopefully a lot of stacks on it. Okay, there's Rain of Arrows, which we actually need. That will be the main DPS for today, and we will be going with increased area of effect. It is going to be very interesting to see how that is affected by the actual game mode. Also, by the way guys, please be careful. Apparently it has been fixed for the next update, as colliders have been increased for the specific thing. But just know that there is a unity issue over here where you can actually clip through these objects with this objective. So if you get this one and you dash into this wall, you can actually clip through into the arena, and it will end your run early for you, as you won't be able to get out of there. So just be careful with that. You don't want that to happen, so make sure you don't dash into the walls if possible. Alright, this is also a very similar build to if you want to actually crit stack as a character. So we aptitude stacking, which is critical strike damage, but obviously we do want as much crit as possible when we're doing this as well, because obviously we want that beautiful damage going there. Multicast is very good. There's quick strike, beautiful. We're going to go reduce the time necessary for the panther to appear. Actually, we want magnetic first. Critical strike chance. And we got to reroll now to get the skills that we're looking for. So there's Seeker Blades, and hopefully the plan is to get 1,000 form stacks. So we're definitely using a good amount of weird and wonderful skills to do it. Luckily I found some really nice skills that I enjoy using thanks to our random skills that we've been playing with recently, and we're going to go from there. The Leviathan is very good. We are actually going to grab it. And let's see, can we get the other thrust skills going forward? Come on game, there we go, there's the last one. So this is the loadout. We got everything we wanted, so we can lock active skills, and now we just need to scale all of our damage and things like that. So we will eventually get to this cast frequency wise, but when we get a nice beautiful cast frequency for one of our other skills, we definitely want to grab those.
Just at the right time.
Also, we get our arrow barrage for our artifact power, which causes fragility, which is insanely OP. I say insanely, I mean it's just strong. I wouldn't say insanely OP, but it's a very strong artifact power to have. Shooting multiple times in a 0.25. Every 0.25 seconds, you're applying 6 stacks of fragility. I mean, if that doesn't sound like it's very strong, then I don't know. Don't know what does to you. But we're getting a lot of damage, only 17 damage per stack, and obviously with regards to aptitude stacks, the debuff limit itself, so the buff limit is only 1,000, so you can only get 1,000 critical damage from it. However, you obviously can stack higher than that, which is what the plan is. And then once you've stacked higher than that, you can obviously get your skills that apply effects based on those stacks, or damage based on those stacks can obviously deal more damage than the stacks themselves apply buffs. So it does help going over 1,000, even though the buff itself only has a hard cap of 1,000. Alright, increased damage. What's really nice here is, as you can see, everything except for this is physical. So I actually should have looked at that, and we should have maybe not had that as a case, but it is what it is right now. And then what we need is the other way around. I'm looking for thrust to projectile, so we'll banish that, and we will look for thrust to projectile in the future, because we're trying to get rain of arrows to go off as often as possible. By the way, if you guys are brand new to the game, a rain of arrows actually used to have a stun on it. So it used to perma-stun enemies. It used to be a really, really fun little skill to play with back in the day. Now it just deals stacking damage. A little bit more powerful, but it's not as... it's powerful in a different regard. Still having a AoE, like a nearly AoE stun for the entire map, is powerful in its own regard as well. Okay, form to haste will take more damage. What's really good here is we're getting a lot of damage stacked on it for a very, very good time. As you can see, we're getting quite a lot of damage upgrades to Rain of Arrows, which is unusual. Usually my luck isn't that good, but hopefully it is good enough to carry us. Alright, so the first thing we're going to be grabbing is, of course, well, firstly, we're on quite a decent amount of critical strike chance, so that's really good. But the first thing we're going to be grabbing is, of course, the aptitude on crit, and that's going to allow us to then get more aptitude. I would have liked a goblin because I want the area of effect one as well. As you can see, the skills themselves aren't really that bad in terms of visuals, so it does work quite well, or hopefully it works quite well. But let's see where this can take us. We will have to maybe grab poison, but I want to really leave this to just aptitude and critical strike chance, leaving poison and negative effects out of it. So every time you cause a critical strike, you have a chance to apply aptitude. It's 1% chance for a 4% aptitude. Remember, we still have the aptitude on the skill shoot as well. So we do have that, and it's a 0.4 second cooldown, so it's still very, very strong. What we are going to do is we're going to grab Meterhead first to get the exposed, and then we'll grab the next one being the Brittle to Colossal for increased area of effect. If we don't do enough aptitude stacking, then we're probably going to grab another one of those ones so that we can increase the aptitude even further. But keeping the Leviathan, I think it can be very good. And global cast frequencies should make this work really well as well. 114 stacks, yeah, so we still need to work on that.
Let's keep going. Many more fragments to collect.
Let's just pop onto our Panther. Gives us movement speed, cast frequency, damage, crit chance, just a lot of stats overall. Okay. Area of effect, we've got potency on there, some health increases. Let's go for cast frequencies on everything. Again, we are just going up in critical strike chance. We are on 400% already, which is amazing. It goes even higher when you get the potencies for our skill over there. But it's all just planned, you know, crit and crit damage, why not? Just trying to get as much as humanly possible. So here's the thrust to projectile skill chain that we're looking for. We increase the damage for everything. We can grab another Leviathan, and that also means we do need to try and get a couple of increases to our movement speed now as well. So thrust to projectile, multicast, we will grab that. So that's going to help us get even more aptitude because we're now multicasting those skills more often. We're only looking for a blue of those. And I do actually have to grab a cast frequency because only when we've got our Panther active are we actually dealing a lot of, or gaining quite a lot of cast frequency. So we want to actually increase our cast frequency so that we don't have that as a problem. Same with the movement speed. We want to try and increase our movement speed because right now we don't actually have a lot of it. It's only when we have our Ascension active that it's doing something wonderful for us in terms of that. So really need to get a lot more stacks going though. Okay, cast frequency, aptitude to prowess is obviously going to increase the amount of damage per stack, so getting ourselves a lot of battle prowess or prowess is going to be good. We also got the battle of proficiency, so we've got prowess as a second stat, meaning that we can go and grab ourselves things like prowess to resilience now as well, which will definitely help in terms of damage stacking. So some very good options here. Grabbing all of the cast frequency possible. We get another multicast over here. Beautiful. Grab some block. Damage for thrust will grab. It's fine. What's very interesting is we've actually got quick strike as well, which is a movement scaling skill. Let me know down in the comment sections if you guys would like to see a quick strike build where we just scale movement speed the entire time and see how fast and how silly it is. Again, it would be a +0 build, a silly Saturday one, because when you have that much movement speed, it's actually extremely difficult to control your character, and you land up not being able to do really well because you land up losing a lot of damage because your character can't even stand near a boss or do anything like that. But luckily we've got the brittle to colossal boss, which will make that a little bit easier for us. Alright, what's really nice is Rain of Arrow hits nearly everything. Obviously it deals, you know, damage every 0.3 seconds as well, which means it is quite a really good, quite a decent scaling skill. What we need is that we can mount a Panther faster. So if we find mounting the Panther quicker, so reduce the time to tame the Panther, that's it. We also get the haste to finesse, which is fantastic. Some more cast frequency, and then just, I guess, the multicast there. We could have rerolled, I guess. We haven't been rerolling, so if we get unfavorable options, just reroll. I haven't been doing that, like I just said, but we should start doing that. Alright, there's the last objective. Reduce the time necessary to tame the Panther. I want the cast frequency though. We're going to go for critical strike chance here. Merciless, again, should have re-rolled there. Just so you guys know, I maybe didn't do it, but if you're playing the game, a re-roll over there would have been better than taking one of those common upgrades. But it's really not the end of the world. But yeah, movement speed, we want to try and get as much as possible because we are taking the Leviathans and they're giving us quite a decent chunk of damage, but they're also reducing our movement speed. Alright, Scorpion, let's go. So we are grabbing Exposed on hit here. You can grab Form on hit, but remember we're not actually looking for Form as a skill, although we've got like a lot of Form skills. We're looking for Aptitude. Now you're probably wondering, why didn't I actually grab myself the Aptitude skills? And the reason is because I actually wanted a lot of thrust to projectile, hoping for the skill chaining into like shoot or something like that, but unfortunately it's not happening. So sometimes it's better to rather go skill chain from a different type of skill into another that applies the aptitude or whatever the case is, and we've just been super unlucky with our upgrades. Also, I haven't been re-rolling, so you know that's also kind of on me, but we need to we need to sort that out.
Let's keep going. Many more fragments to collect.
Okay, form to haste is a very scary one to get, but I'm actually going to take both of these. More critical strike chance on them. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, we have so much crit already, but that 754 critical damage needs to go up even higher. And there are definitely ways to do it.
One more step forward. The hunt sharpens.
Okay, actually, yeah, we'll just grab it, but I don't need it. And then we're going to go and grab the cast frequency. Cast frequency, multicast, going to be the most important upgrades. We're on 300%, or 300 aptitude right now. So it does look like after we've got the increased area of effect, we will then go for the form again. Oh, this is actually beautiful. The fact that we got a goblin. There we go. That's beautiful. So we can grab the area of effect now, and then we can grab another aptitude straight after it. Or we can just grab flat out a critical strike. Oh no, but it's on aptitude stacks. No, we need to grab the aptitude. See, we can increase our critical damage, but the skill is based off of a cast, the aptitude itself, not off of the, not off of your actual casting. So here's the thruster projectile, and then we can also grab the damage over there. We're not going to be able to grab a lot more of the locks, so we will try focus on skill chain very soon and try and get as many of them as possible. And actually, I'm going to start re-rolling every so often just to ensure that we get it.
Okay, this helps open that door.
But we got a goblin. That's going to be a lot of levels as well. Cast frequencies are beautiful to get, getting as low as possible to, of course, increase our finesse, to increase the form, just all the beautiful things that we are looking for. I might have to grab one shattered as well, just because. Okay, we hopped onto our Panther, and you can see how much that actually assisted with the damage. Perfect, grab that. Grab ourselves the Potency. Again, you can grab this, but it's, I mean, it does help, so we might grab it again, but we want the Brittle to Colossal, just so that we've got the extra area of effect, so our skill is going to be hitting absolutely everything. And remember earlier I said, oh yeah, we get the damaging skill upgrades for this. It's kind of stopped. We haven't seen another one in quite a while. So maybe I jinxed it and shouldn't have said anything like, oh yeah, we're getting the upgrades. Because now we're not getting them. Alright, ooh, this is a juicy goblin cave right here. We got ourselves 32 levels. We reduced the time for the Panther to appear is fine. Let's just reroll a little bit. Not getting what we're looking for. Haste to finesse. Reduce the Panther. Multicasting over there. And then the damage increase is also very big there. So we had to lock for it. Grab damage increase over here. So it goes from 32 up to 35. Multicasting. Multicast is beautiful. Prowess to resilience we can grab as well. We don't need the area. There's a damage increase. Haste to finesse. Increased damage. Don't need the area of effect anymore. So cast frequencies are very good. I am using rerolls over here. We are going to look for our, well, damage is actually better. For now, let's go multicast. Aptitude for damage. I'm going to go one more form to haste. And then the haste to finesse. The reason for that is because, I'm going to banish this now, is we're going to get way too much movement speed otherwise. And we don't want that. So aptitude there. We don't need that anymore. I can banish the cast frequency as well. But I will grab general cast frequency there. So we used a couple of rerolls for a change. It's been a while since we've actually done that. And back to Midorahk so we can get the aptitude on crit again to get more stacks. But now we've got the area of effect increase. So the arrows are going to be puncturing absolutely everywhere. 299 stacks of Aptitude, trying to get even more. It's quite difficult. I think I should have taken maybe one more skill. Maybe the precision was a bad idea, but I mean, you live and learn. How else do we know what to do if we don't try everything?
Fragments? Check. Soon I'll face the Titan.
Look how fast we are now because of the haste, but it has given us quite a bit of multicasting as well. We've got nearly 400, I mean it's about 350 stacks of prowess, which obviously does directly affect the damage that we're doing because we gain stacks of damage. So that's really, really good. 450 stacks of Aptitude, which means that we're doing far more damage now as well.
Open that door.
What's actually interesting is what skill's doing the most amount of damage. Luckily it is Rain of Arrows, so happiness for that. Don't need the duration. Get the Merciless, of course. Get ourselves some armor as well, because why not? And we don't even have... Oh, we've only got 400 stacks of
Many more fragments to collect.
area of effect, which is crazy. I would have thought it would be much higher.
One more step forward. The hunt sharpens.
Let's go. Reduce damage taken. I guess armor doesn't... I'm not getting the... We're just not getting the upgrades. Okay, let me get rid of some of these damage upgrades because we don't need them.
Let's face
But I'm not getting either damage upgrades and I'm not getting skill chain, even though we got Synergetic and lovely things like that. It's just not happening for us right now. Alright, the Panther did spawn, which was weird. That was like immediately, but I'm not going to complain. Because as you can see, it definitely gives us a lot more damage.
Bullseye. Titan blood taken.
And we grab another Aptitude one. So every time you critical strike, you have a chance to gain Aptitude. So we're going to gain a chance, 1% chance to gain 4% Aptitude. Hopefully we can increase that even further. But yeah, we got the Void Hunter fight now and the Void King. And then we'll do Midorahk again to grab another Aptitude scaling. But again, we don't have Shattered, although we probably don't need it. But
Let's open the
we might have to grab it on the 5th Titan after the Void King. Hopefully the Void King has some really good upgrades for us. But there's no... Oh, maybe... No, I don't believe he does. He's got like fragility on hit will be very good. And we don't need wound either because we're not applying negative effects. So this will probably be the first time we go for something like disoriented on hit, or even grabbing ourselves something like the fragility on hit as well. Both will be very good. I think because we have fragility on our artifact power, it might be very good to just rather grab the increase to other things like disoriented. But we can decide that after we've beaten him.
Piece by piece, the Void King store will open.
Let's just pick up our Panther over here. There we go. Running into the wall like a silly goose. Okay, we're gonna have to keep our rerolls and things. So I'm gonna grab the multicast over here, just because I think we do need a little bit more of it. Cast frequency, obviously. Cast frequencies, try and get that as low as possible. It's now 0.5 on the Secret Blade itself, which is really good. But the more cast frequency we have, the better. And the more multicast we have, the better as well. So trying to get as much of that as possible. Even more multicast, beautiful. We're also gaining 262 critical strike chance. I mean, there we go, some pretty decent stats looking, you know, stat looking stuff right there.
Void King store will open.
It is going to get lowered now though, because we don't have that beautiful 50% cast frequency that we've been using with our Panther.
Well, if I live to tell him.
But everything looks like it's being defeated relatively fast anyway, which is beautiful.
Piece by piece, the Void King's door will open.
Alright, there was a +4 at the bottom over there, but we don't need it. We're just going to do this +3 over here, which is more than plenty of enough objectives. So there we go.
Progress made.
Not the fastest, but that was actually relatively good. Damage-wise again, Rain of Arrows, definitely picking up the damage quite a lot. Seeker Blades doing a lot themselves as well. You know, we probably didn't need exposed on hits because of these skills. We already had so much. I mean, 12% exposed. That was very silly of me then. Multicast, crit damage, cast frequency. We don't need those anymore. Potency. We're just grabbing area because we can. But we're looking for things like the damage. We can't lock, so unfortunately we have to just take one of them. We finally get another thrust to projectile. But again, that's also, it is what it is. We can't really do much about that. Alright, we might have to turn the visuals down for the Void King. So I should actually focus where I'm firing, because shoot as well as our artifact power are directional abilities. So it would make sense if we actually chose where we shot them. Over here, that's quite a decent chunk of damage actually. But I'm also thinking that the actually, yeah, let's just do that.
Good.
What the heck?
I feel it. All sigils are lit. What are you waiting for, Void King?
Okay, let's just turn this down a little bit. I need to focus up on the Void King, just because of his ability that deals damage rapidly to that one over there. Where is my Panther? Why hasn't it spawned yet? There it is. Okay, fantastic. You can be the king. No one's arguing with you there. We don't need the cast frequency anymore because it is on such a low cooldown, which is actually, oh, it's because we're on the Panther. But it should be at a fine cooldown even when we're not on the Panther now. So that was the point of it. But there we go, Void King down really quickly actually. So now we're going to just go a little bit further. We don't need the wound or that. We're actually looking, oh man, so this is the difficult part. Do we go for like fragility, or do we go for something like disoriented? I think we got the fragility there already. Let's go disoriented, and we still want to try and scale as much as possible on this. So we're actually going to grab the shattered on hit first. This is just a good indicator of where we are in damage going for the next you know, going on to the next Titan. It should indicate things. The best thing that will indicate our damage is actually going to be these guys over here. If we don't defeat them really quickly, then we know, okay, our damage isn't that great. But the fact that we did actually defeat them relatively quickly is a good sign for us. So we're happy there. If you can defeat the corrupted void, the shadow lords, then you're actually in a pretty good spot with your damage. If it takes you quite a while to defeat them, then you know, okay, the Titan's going to be even worse. So just remember that, you know, you want the Titan to be quite a decent, you want to be doing decent amounts of damage first.
Fragment? Check. Soon I'll face the Titan.
Soon you will face the Titan, quite right. Alright, so we get the thrust to projectile, that's beautiful. We get damage increases, another thrust. Just overall damages work really, really well as well, so grabbing those. Some HP increases, but I mean, that went really quickly, right? Finesse is good, multi-strike cast. This, I can't lock these. 460%. I think getting the Relentless will be a little bit better so that everything goes even lower on its cooldowns. Let's see what happens here. Actually have so much dodge that I could probably dodge in a way that we don't take damage. But there we go. We're only getting shattered because they start getting armor now. So it just makes sense for us to be able to get rid of that armor. So there we go. We go for the shattered and we're going to go grab one more aptitude and we'll try another boss fight. But after that, that should be that. We also have to turn the visuals down a little tad bit. They are a bit high now. But yeah, you can see already Shattered's making quite a big difference to the build as well. 400 Aptitude, still not as high as I wanted, so that's why we're going up again even more. I think we should have gone and grabbed the, instead of having the crit buff, we should have taken something that allowed us to get the Aptitude more. Another skill, in other words. 600% aptitude when we're on our animal. You can see it's kind of capping itself out. It's just not reaching anything further, which is a bit unfortunate. But we're going to hope that Midorahk can solve that. 600 finesse. And remember, we don't have any skills that apply finesse. This is literally just from going from haste to finesse, which is even crazier. Absolutely melt those guys. You can see just how quick we are as well because of our animal. But now that we're off of it and we have less cast frequency, you can see we actually have less aptitude going there. So it is what it is though. Pretty safe though for us to just stand. Unfortunately, we can't pick up the Panther. It will disappear. But if we struggle with Midorahk, we should have time for the Panther to reappear. Okay. Let's go. Cast frequencies are the good things. Reduce the time for the Panther to appear. Multicasting. We can go for more multicast. More resilience. I would like the thrust, but damage is key here. More of that, more of that. We actually don't need more potency, but we'll grab it anyway. Damage increase, prowess for damage increase. Are we even on 1,000 prowess stacks even? So we could have gone for 1,000 prowess stacks to increase the damage. This is on 58 base. Let's see how many prowess stacks we actually get. I haven't been paying attention to that. So we're on nearly capped. So 600 and something prowess stacks. So it went nearly double the damage that arrow rain of arrows is actually doing, which is pretty insane. And yeah, Disorientated made quite a big difference to our actual build. So before we were struggling, even the second or third Midorahk we did really did take us a much, I feel like we actually on a much better time. Oh, also, when did we even get on our Panther there? That's pretty crazy. Alright, damage for thrust is fine. We got fragility to radiance, but we don't need radiance. We're looking for this, so we get 12 aptitude per chance. And this will be the last one. We're going to go and do the final person. I think Volks and Vivolt will be a good indication. Or we got movement speed and crit. Yeah, let's do Volkage and Vivolt. It's not really for the Titan itself, but they are quite a difficult fight. So you know, either this is going to be good or it's going to be bad. But the point is to try and get that aptitude to 1,000.
Let's keep going. Many more fragments to
didn't get as much as we wanted, but we certainly on a very good amount. So, you know, it worked out, but not exactly how we wanted it to. 500 stacks without the Panther, and then with the Panther we go up to what's the amount? 740-ish. The problem is like if we can get the Panther with so much, then that means that we can actually increase it a whole lot further just off base stats, because all this does is increase your base stats. So all I'm hearing is, oh, well, your base stats aren't high enough, they could be higher. By the way, that wave of projectiles you're seeing is, I believe, our arrow barrage. Yeah, it is the arrow barrage.
Okay, this helps open that door.
So that cast frequency we're getting from this was crazy. Crit, more prowess, because it wasn't at 1,000. So, you know, you need more. Increased damage, more critical strike chance. At the end of it, we are sitting at nearly 1,000 of everything. We got 1,000 damage, 1,000 crit, 2,500 critical damage. Pretty decent chunk of damage. And that's why we didn't go for fragility either, because the arrow barrage is there for the fragility. So we didn't actually need it to you know, do what we were doing. So pretty strong.
Gates open. Let's face the Titan and collect its blood.
Alright, so this time we are going to focus our attacks on the bosses. We haven't actually been doing that the whole time. We've just been auto-clearing it. We also have our Panther there in the corner, but as you can see, we can't get to it safely. There we go. So we're on our Panther now. This is where the movement speed becomes very dangerous for us. But at the same time, actually very good for us. Alright, I knew this would be a harder fight, unfortunately. That's just the way that the game works. Because the Titans just get ridiculously stronger as you keep going. The build isn't amazing. We didn't really get as many stacks as we wanted to. So I knew there was a limitation. Again, should have probably changed the way that I worked it out and all that juicy stuff. But it is what it is. There's nothing we can really do about it now. Alright, and there you have it. So we lost a little bit of critical strike chance. It is what it is. Doesn't really matter. But we managed to do it. So we did 7 vials. Shattered to prowess is actually pretty strong. That's all we actually get over here. So it's whatever. Doesn't really matter. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was a pretty interesting experiment. The fact that we got to 8 vials is pretty intense. And a rain of arrows actually staying in the front with damage. So I hope you all enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And always remember, keep safe, survivors. Until next time, cheers.